Have you ever wondered why we as humans do the things that we do? For centuries, psychologists and researchers alike have been trying to study and analyze the way that brains work in order to better understand the motivating factors behind human actions. Many researchers have identified the concepts of instinct and rational thought as the most prominent of these factors. Instinct has previously been defined as an innate, unlearned set of behaviors or a motivational factor that satisfies an internal drive tied to survival. It is something that has been genetically programmed into an individual's mind, and has been known to stay largely the same from the time of humans' prehistoric ancestors. Rationality is defined as a logical or reasonable factor that plays a role in decision-making and a person's actions. But these two concepts are not so rigidly defined. In fact, there is a blurry line between the two concepts when it comes to what is truly responsible for human actions and therefore more important. However, it can be said that instinct is more important than rational thought because it aids humans in survival and achieving satisfaction, largely controls human emotions and actions, and has the ability to better protect and guide humans than rational thought can. The main goals of human life continue to be survival and satisfaction. The human brain is genetically wired in such a way as to assure that any actions made by humans are made to the benefit of that human. Although there are exceptions to this theory, instincts play a large role in human survival and tell a person what they need in order to achieve satisfaction. Sigmund Freud's psychoanalytic theory is explained in the article Freud's Theories of Life and Death Instincts, written by Kendra Cherry. Cherry discusses that instincts fall into two categories: life instincts, which are called eros, and death instincts, which are called thanatos. Eros are the instincts which focus on survival or basic needs such as thirst, hunger, and avoidance of danger, as well as pleasure and reproduction. For example, it can be exemplified as the want to eat tasty food or the want for material goods and success, and is said to be the stem of all positive or protective human instincts such as love and cooperation. However, the article also mentions thanatos as self-destructive instincts within humans that provide the notion that humans subconsciously desire to harm themselves. However, this article was based off of Freud's book Beyond the Pleasure Principle, which was published almost a century ago in 1920. Since then, psychological findings have proven the existence of eros by studying human behavior and interactions, but little has been done to prove the existence of thanatos and the concept that humans truly have an internal, self-destructive drive. Instinct can also be considered more important than rational thought as it is closely related to the emotions which humans act upon, giving it a large degree of control over any human actions. An article published by New York University about the findings of neuroscientist Joseph Ledoux discusses the differences between how instincts are portrayed in humans versus other animals. In humans, emotions are said to be essential extensions of human instincts, while in animals, instincts are portrayed as more primitive and easily triggered behaviors, making emotions a factor that set humans apart from animals. These emotions or feelings that an individual may experience are known to dictate their behavior and interactions with other people. For example, if a person's instinct of satisfying hunger is achieved successfully, then that person may feel content and have pleasant and friendly interactions with others. On the other hand, if an individual is not able to satisfy their hunger, they may feel grumpy and irritated, causing them to act less amicably with others. Although instinct does control a large aspect of human actions, many argue that due to the primal, thoughtless, and inherently destructive nature of instincts, rational thought is needed in order to control them. In the episode The End of the Affair from the television series The Vampire Diaries, the main character, Stefan Salvatore, a vampire, turns off his humanity or rationality and begins to act on his instincts without taking into regard how his actions will affect his friends, family, and community. Because he is a vampire, his strongest instinct is to feed off of humans, and he begins to go around the country leaving a trail of bodies behind him. This episode supports the idea that rational thought is needed to control instincts, as they have the power to retrogress civilization and bring out the destructive aspects of human nature, due to how primal and thoughtless they are. However, not all instincts are so irrational and thoughtless. In a TED Talk by the peace activist Amaryllis Fox named Following Instinct, Fox discusses how an individual's gut feeling is not just a random feeling that a person experiences, but rather an instinct that takes into account a person's past experiences to lead a person to act in a manner that will be the most beneficial for them.
We've all had the experience of looking up when someone across the room is looking at us. Those are simple evolutionary instincts developed over time to help us survive. The ability to judge which food source has more and which has less without counting. the ability to identify and evade a predator. And they're important. But the moment of instinct I was following as I walked away from that gate was a different, more subjective kind. A judgment that might have been right for me while being wrong for somebody else. And that kind of instinct draws on a lifetime of accumulated experiences that are all quietly stashed away in our subconscious and broken down into chunks. And over time, as we're all busy living our lives, those chunks of experience begin to repeat themselves in fundamental but often imperceptible patterns. And it's those patterns that this kind of instinct can search and draw conclusions from, when your conscious mind might not even know they exist.
Fox states that because this instinct is so strategical and takes into account one's past, it has the ability to be much more careful and precise than a person's own thinking or rational thinking could possibly be, proving that not all instincts are primal or thoughtless and may even serve a person better than rational thinking can. There is a reason as to why every instinct within a person has been genetically inscribed within them. In Fear is Nothing to be Feared, an article written by Dr. Noam Spencer, the instinct of fear is analyzed in its relevance to the modern world. Dr. Spencer discusses how the feeling of fear is a part of an ancient internal alert system that existed thousands of years ago in human ancestors that allowed them to identify even the most insignificant signs of danger. In the current world, this system often overreacts to situations as the environment in which most humans live in is relatively safer than the one that existed thousands of years ago. However, this overactive system should not be dismissed as ineffective or irrelevant, as it does still serve the purpose of protection. Although this instinct of fear may be overrated in a modern society where rational thought dismisses it, it will never be entirely useless, as it is what keeps humans subconsciously aware of their surroundings and sources of danger. If humans did not have the instinct of being afraid, they would not react to dangerous situations in an adequate manner. This shows that although rational thinking can help a person come to a sensible reaction to a threat, instinct is able to protect a person more efficiently, faster than irrational thinking. Although both instincts and rational thought are essential to the well-being of an individual and society, instinct is more important than rational thought because it is genetically wired within individuals to protect, guide, and benefit them as it focuses on survival and satisfaction. Instinct also has a large degree of control over human actions due to its connection to human emotions, and can largely influence human interactions. Lastly, while some believe that instincts may be responsible for negative aspects of human actions and that some may be thoughtless and destructive, instincts can actually be much more complex than they were thought to be and may be able to guide humans in the right path more efficiently than rational thought.